Hey everyone, your favorite person from Silver Silk is here. My name is Nilay Patel. I am the owner and designer here at Silver Silk and More, and it is always a pleasure to hop on here on YouTube and bring you guys some new, interesting, fun ideas using Silver Silk, of course, and more pertaining to the various companies that I love to work with. That includes, of course, Softflex Wire, Jesse James Beads, um, Halstead. We got Tierra Cast, Vintage. There's all kinds of great companies out there, and I love using all of their products and trying to mix it and give some new techniques and ideas and different ways to use Silver Silk. So I'm excited tonight. I just got a very special package from Jesse James Beads. They're my absolute number one favorite company out there. Well, I guess I should treat everyone equal company wise, but they're pretty special. They hold a very specific function, I think, in the industry that is to create these gorgeous beads. And I love seeing a lot of our crafter community out there using them in their designs, and certainly they inspire me to create all kinds of fun new techniques and designs and to show them to you guys. But their beads, I'm impressed with. They create these beads in-house in their own design team, and they put together these beautiful strands. So they're quite unique in the way that they produce and have their business model set up. So in any case, they just released a bunch of Tensha beads, which are these right here. And I cannot wait to dive into these for so many reasons. First of all, these beads are so unique. I'm gonna give you guys a close-up whenever I flip the camera around. But they are Japanese created beads, and it's really cool because they actually have these decals that they put on these beads and then treat them to where they're permanent. And so what you're really looking at is not just a bead, but it's a piece of artwork that you're really getting with these little short strands. So I highly recommend checking them out. You can go to www.jessejamesbeads.com, and they just released a bunch of new ones, and I got all these strands to show you. But tonight's project, I'm going to be using flat mesh, which looks like this. And I wanted to kind of go over a technique that I used in the past that I use to create these really cool flowers, which I think because these have flowers in them, it's just going to be a really cool technique to kind of complement the beads, but also just teach you guys something that I think will be a cool component to use in various designs. And so what I'm going to do is flip the camera around. I'm going to sketch a design for you guys, and we are going to make some stuff tonight. I got some earrings set aside that I want to cover on how to make some flat mesh flower earrings. And then I think we might just dabble around and see what we can do with some of these beads and create some cool components. So let's get started. I'm going to flip my camera. And real quick, guys, if you love Silver Silk and More and love what I'm doing here, or if you're new to Silver Silk and More, please check out the YouTube channel. I realize this will be shared, so I'm reiterating that YouTube is the place to go. And if you love it, please subscribe. You can go to www.silversilkonline.com, and on there you will find some of these materials, certainly the silver silk that I'll be using tonight. And guys, I've got a group called the Silkies, Silver Silk Silkies, and we're just a really great community out there sharing our work, encouraging each other to create beautiful designs, and it's just fabulous and awesome, and you guys should join too. All right, let me grab my marker real quick. We're going to sketch something out. And I like sketching because it provides a really great roadmap to our design. So first of all, I want to do some quick little earrings just to get us introduced to what flat mesh is. So I've got this cool earring post all ready to go. And what I've done, which I'll show you, is I've attached a bead cap via gluing it. But within the bead cap, I have this post kind of sticking out. And here's a little stopper for our earring. So what I'm going to do is show you guys how to take this basic component and add our flat mesh to it, and then we're going to try and tidy everything up neatly in the middle. Maybe add a bead from one of our strands here if it's going to be small enough. We could certainly dig through and do that, but The flower component here, we're going to actually turn into a necklace component because we want to use some of these beautiful beads. So what I'll do is I'm going to show you guys how to do like a simple loop. We're going to add our flat mesh to create a little bloom. And within it, we're going to suspend some of these tensia beads, which I think will just add a really cool touch. I don't think I've got any tassels sitting out, but we might see if we could dig some up and put a tassel in there. So we're going to do this really cool necklace component as we're working with this flat mesh. Majori is here, so thank you guys. Please give me a shout out of where you're calling from, or where you're tuning in from. And I'd love to shout out to you guys, but I'm always interested to see where everyone's coming from on here. All right, so that's our basic design. Now, I get to show you guys these beautiful tension beads. Look at how gorgeous that is. Now, that is a decal that is placed onto the bead and then coated with a very special lacquer that makes this permanent. And so that shine never goes away. So I love these, and I'm so glad that they were able to send these out to me. Oh my gosh, look at that. So they always come up with beautiful ideas. And again, it's not just a bead. This is like truly a piece of artwork. These tensia beads are. Hey, Emily. She says hello from Arizona. We got Heidi in here, one of my favorite silver silkies out there. Gabriella says, wow, gorgeous beads. Aren't they, though? Like, check that out. Oh, we got Jesse James beads on here. They are just tuning in and sharing with the crowd. So thank y'all for doing that. I think we've got some, going to get some good traction here with this project and these beads. So look at that. This is kind of an aqua color. But isn't that like the strands that they create? This is done in-house, and they design how these beads are put together. So you really get an arrangement of different colors and sizes within the same thing, within the same strand. So as creative, I'm sure, as you guys are, this cuts down on some of the hassle on getting into your own inventory and trying to pick out beads for hours. This is beautiful. I'm seriously don't know. They sent me all these, and I have no idea which ones I want to use tonight. So you guys yell out a color that you like, and we're going to figure this out together. Look at that yellow one. Isn't that just beautiful? Absolutely gorgeous. And one more, because, you know, enough is never enough. Look at that. This one's like a deep navy blue. That's cool. Okay, so I picked out some of the knitted wires here. This is a flat mesh. So basically, this is an 8 needle strand of, well, strands really, of wire that are woven together. Majori says orange. I'm guessing that would be probably this one. Is closest to the orange. But this is eight, what am I trying to say? 8 little strands of wire that are woven together, and then it's pressed flat. So you get this beautiful little flat mesh that's about 4.8, maybe 5 millimeters in width here. So it's a pretty great jewelry chain and perfect for this technique. So I think this matches really well together. I've got this gorgeous green that is an olive green, and these are all available on the Silver Silk website, silversilkonline.com. So we got choices, lots of choices. We got silver, of course, because that's a standard color that I like to carry. And we've got, Gabriella says, love Jesse James beads. Yeah, for sure. Oh, gold. So the gold and the yellow would go really well. Oh, the gold might go really with anything. I think what sticks out for me at this immediate standpoint is I think we can create some beautiful flower components with this combination. I see it's already got some copper in there. So we'll save this for a little bit later. And I think what I want to do with the earrings is, because I have them in gold right now, so we could either do green or gold. And I'm thinking the gold on gold might be too much. So I'm going to think I might do the green. And we might, again, pick out some beads in here. Maybe some of the blue ones, like that aqua in there would be really cool. So we'll take out this strand, and we'll just kind of keep these lovely strands out to the side in case we change our mind. All right, now time to get down to the instructions. So, of course, I said earrings first, and then we'll continue with the tension beads with the components, but I kind of wanted to experiment with this. What I did here was I took an earring post and I glued a little bead cap on. And the bead cap, believe it or not, could actually come from one of these tension strands. So, like, for example, actually, I think that's exactly it. Funny enough, I just took that bead cap and I glued it onto an earring post. But before I glued it on, I actually took a head pin and strung it through that center so that the head pin now won't come out. So this gives me some earring post way to kind of decorate or attach components to. So essentially a head pin. And so what I want to do right off the bat is I'm going to take my flat mesh and we're just going to dive right in. I just use E6000, let it dry overnight, and we can go ahead and do our flower. So the way to do this is you just string it right through. You can cut this cord at any length, at any way, and what it's great for is not fraying, so that you can really get a nice clean cut with this. And what I'm going to do is just loop it around and then string it directly back onto the head pin, and this will give me a nice flat petal just like that. So you can already see it starting to form. Now what I like to do is just continue with the looping. Do not fight against the wire here, or the knitted wire. Just let it kind of overlap where it needs to, and then just press it down into that head pin. So we can start to create our floret as big or as small as we want. And you can, of course, graduate the size. You can do anything with it, really. I think that's a little too small. So what's great is you can always take this out and then just kind of push it back a little bit and go back in. So that'll give us kind of the flexibility that we need to create the loops that we want size-wise. There we go. So you can already see that this is coming together. This is going to make a really cool earring, just like our sketch up here. And then I might do one more because I like odd loops as far as aesthetics go, or an odd count on anything really. But you can get crazy. Like, you can layer the heck out of this as much as you want. But I think I'm going to go for something a little bit lighter today. So this looks good. Whenever I cut this, I just want to make sure that I'm a few loops ahead of where my head pin is sticking out from. So I'm just going to take a pair of Zuron cutters right here. And I'm just going to cut about yay much off. So that way I know that in case this does like have a few extra little strands that stick out there, it's not going to come through. It is on there as permanently as I want it. Cool. So now we can probably add a little decorative bead in there if we wanted to, or do we do a little loop and then have something kind of, you know, suspended below it? Little choices. Let's start with the bead and see how it goes, because I'm not really sure what I want to do. I'm going to go ahead and cut this strand of tension beads, and I've got all kinds of beautiful bead caps and smaller beads in here, so I can't wait to see what we can come up with. There we go. Oh my goodness, look at this beautiful teal crystal. We've got some bead caps in there. I love these little guys, they're fun. They're kind of at an angle, so you can get some really cool texture in there if you wanted to. Here's this bead up close. Now that might be too big, of course, to use with our earring here, but man, oh man, is that beautiful. So let's see what I want to use. I think if we go with, let's see, because I definitely don't want it too heavy, but I don't want it to not make an impression either. Maybe if we go with this guy, and then what we can do is put our loop in. And I'm wondering if we can actually put a bead cap or something at the end. That might be too much, actually. I've got some tiny tassels, I bet, somewhere. So let me try this first, because I don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes these things are just purely an experiment, so one never really knows. All right. So I just put in a little bead, and I'm going to carefully, hopefully that bead cap will stay on. Looks like it will. I'm just going to make myself a P-shaped loop because I want everything to kind of hang below. And what I'm going to see is I've got a bag of tassels here somewhere. Oh, that looks so cool though, doesn't it? Like that's gonna make a really spectacular earring. If you can see in the light, I'm sorry that I keep covering up my light source here. Let me grab a tassel real quick, or my bag of tassels. See if we can't come up with anything fun and fabulous to use here. I've got these mini ones, and I'm hoping that my ladies on the Jesse James beads side of things are posting some links to all this beautiful stuff. Look at these tiny baby tassels. And the teal is such a complementary color to this olive that I think it would just make a really fun pair of earrings. So let's give it a try. Never know until we try and see how we feel about it, right? There we go. All right, gonna go ahead and scooch this in as best as we can. Nope, need to open that up more. They say, love to see you work. Such beauty in progress. Thank you. Making this stuff up on the fly here. But that's the fun part about designing, because you just never know. But it's also fun to do it with this creative community. Oh, look at that. It might be just a fun little, like, cutesy earring. You know, that way it has some added texture. Got the beautiful Jesse James beads. You got this pop in the middle. That's a little bit of a surprise. I think that could be kind of fun to wear. So let me finish it up with the other earring, because I really like that. All right. Okay, let me get another tassel out here. And let's do this again. All right. Okay. Got my flat mesh here. Again, guys, I cut it anywhere, but you just want to go a couple knits up. Go ahead and insert it into the head pin that I have there. I'm going to go ahead and loop this wire around, press it right through. Now, this is truly the beauty of silver silk. I feel like the knits allow so much creative flexibility, whether you're putting it through a head pin, sewing through it, using beading wire through it. Like, truly, the possibilities have been endless with the design capabilities. So one of the most unique products out there, and I'm so happy and proud to represent it and show you guys techniques using silver silk. And now this is just one type of silver silk. I've got a capture chain that has a ball chain inside of it, and I've got another that's a hollow cord. It's a large hollow cord, in fact, called galaxy wire. But you could put beads right in through it. There we go. Joan says, hello from East Tennessee. I can keep spelling hello incorrectly. Sometimes I fast type and spell stuff wrong too. So I understand the struggle, Joan. All right. We're just working our way in here, guys. This is great. I can't wait to get started on the next component. Here we go. And I am, again, just I'm not making even a full simple loop. I'm just making a P-shaped loop. As you can see, it's very one-sided. Whoops, there we go. And to that, I'm going to go ahead and add the lovely little mini tassel. These are so cute, the tassels. I don't even know they made them this size, but I'm so happy that they do. Because you never know. You never know what design component you'll need, and sometimes large components are just not the way to go. But this certainly is. So cute. We just made an awesome pair of earrings. I'm going to photograph these properly, and we'll share all that later. So I'm going to put those to the side. Oh, I love those, though. All right. So now it's time to get to our components piece, which is right over here, using our fabulous Tensha beads. So I think I wanted to use the yellow ones because, or was it? No, it wasn't. It was these beautiful, I think, kind of peach orange. But the detail on that, again, is just fantastic. I absolutely love these. So I'm going to dive right into it. And I'm going to use my antique copper flat mesh because that's such a great pairing. And what I want to do is create a quick little flower on this and show you guys how easy it is to make a component in minutes. So it looks like there's two different colors of tension beads on here. There's one that's a copperier color, and then these are both clear. So I'm of course tempted to use that middle one because it's the most colorful. Sometimes I feel so bad about unbeading this because it's beautifully like look how well they put this together, and then like here I am destroying these strands to make something else, so I can't help but feel bad. I've got antique copper wire here somewhere. Let me go grab that. I am just using 22 gauge antique copper wire, and so I'm gonna go ahead and get some out. So I'm just using you don't need a whole lot to make this component, I promise. Probably about like 12 inches should suffice for the whole thing, but really like I'm going to work with 6 for now. And what I want to do is I want to make a simple loop on one end, or actually a wire wrap loop. So what I'm going to need are my round nose pliers. And so let's start with making a loop on one end. So what I'm going to do is make a P-shaped loop. As you can see, my wires are crossing each other there. And then what I do is I want to break the neck is what I call it. So I'm basically reinserting in my pliers within where those pliers cross on the top side, and then I'm just going to push it back. So you can see that my wire then moved backwards. So what I'll do is reinsert my pliers back in and finish out that loop. What I've done is now my loop is centralized within my wire work here. So then I'll just grab it, the loop specifically, and I'll just go ahead and coil my little wire around the base wire a couple times. That's what basically will give me my wire wrapped loop. So you can see how great that looks. And then all you do is just go ahead and trim that extra piece of wire. And what I want to do is add some of these beautiful beads. You can actually take your chain nose pliers and give it a good little push inside of that, where that is, so that there's no little piece of wire sticking out. But what I'm going to do is add, which one do I add? I think I'm going to add this one to start. And then what I want to do is go ahead and create my flower component right on top of that. So same thing again, guys. You can make this as crazy big as you want, or you can make this nice and delicate and tiny. But for this, I think I'm going to go crazy big because the tension beads just really are attractive, and I want to make sure that I'm framing it in the best way possible. And 2, because it's part of a necklace component, why not? We can get a little crazy with it. All right, so that looks good. Again, I think I'm going to do just the 5 loops this time. But these are a lot bigger than my earrings that I created not too long ago. Once you learn this technique, though, imagine how many things you can really apply it to. One of my favorite ones to teach. Your majority says go big or go home. I agree. Oh, they say Jesse James B is saying tear those strands up. And they're big proponents on creativity, so I'm telling you, they do some of the work, but I think they are leaving it up to your creativity to do the rest. All right. Go ahead and cut that off, slide it down. We'll spread this out just a little bit, but the beauty of this design is these little petals are going to go any direction that they want to. And I'm going to string this beautiful coppery bead on. So now I could start to kind of push this downward just by tugging on the silver silk. You see how that starts to kind of just fold on top of that bead. Isn't that just brilliant? There we go. So what I'll do is I'll kind of case that. And what I might do is attach another tension bead up here, I think, and then maybe something down there. Oh, you know what, though? I wanted to add some bead caps to this. So bead cap, then my tension bead, and then another bead cap. So Might as well use up as many of these beautiful beads as we can in this design, but look at that. Already coming together. Looks great. All right, so I'm afraid that my simple loop might go through, or my wire wrap loop might go through that little area there. So what we're going to do is take one of these little stoppers that come on the strand and go and put it there. So repurposing, always a good thing. And then what I'm going to do is go ahead and make my loop on the other side. So this time I'm going to use the help of my pliers to make this loop. But what I'm going to do is insert it into my chain nose pliers. I'm going to then just take my thumb and push it down so that it is perpendicular to my pliers, just like that. You can see. And then I can lift off, replace that plier with my round nose. So I'm replacing my chain nose with my round nose. And then I'm just going to go ahead and loop that wire around that first prong of my pliers, undo it, and then move into my second prong there. That'll give me enough room to go ahead and twist my wire all the way around like that. And that way, once you start to straighten it out, you see that the loop is already central within my component there. Oops, if it quits moving around. What you can do is squeeze it a little bit, and that'll give it a better round shape. Then you'll just grasp that head with your chain nose pliers and then just wrap the rest of this around like that. And that'll give you your simple loop. Well, wire wrapped loop really. And then you could just trim the rest of this off. And then don't forget to tuck in that little stray piece there. That way nothing gets caught on it. So that looks great. I think this component is beautiful, but I certainly want to add another tension bead up here. I think you could even do a series of these little flower components on top of each other. I think that would look excellent. Or do we put this down here? No, I want to put it up there. Choices, my friends, choices. There's so many choices. I think I'm just going to do a simple loop on this one. And then I can either use, I might not have enough of this quite yet, but I can definitely demonstrate how to attach all this together. All right, I'm just gonna do a simple loop on this one. To do a simple loop, what I do is I just grasp the top of the wire with the top of my chain, with my round nose pliers, and that gives me my P-shaped loop. And then I can take it, grabbing one end, one of my prongs inside and one of my prongs outside, just where the wire touches the base wire, and then just fold it back, just like that. Same thing on this side. I'll want to cut it about a 1/2 inch up, and then go ahead and loop it around my pliers. So making sure that it is flush there at the top, working it around. You can always lift off as many times as you need to in order to get your shape. Here we go. And then just grab it at the base there and twist back. And that will give you your round shape. So then I'll just go ahead and connect it all together, just like that. And I don't know. I'm not sure if I want this to be my chain, although I like the continuity of that. And then I probably want some sort of tassel down there too, right guys? Because we love our tassels. I've got this beautiful shag tassel in this brown color scheme. So do we do that one, or do we do, I don't know, what else do we have in this bag? I've got, guys, like seriously, I've got Tassel City over here. It's ridiculous. We could even do this silver one. That might be kind of cool. I don't know. What do y'all think? I need some help. Oh, can't see the tassel. There we go. Hopefully there's enough lighting. Sometimes lighting's not so great because we're still working our way into daylight savings time here. We got this lighter brown color one, but I don't know if that doesn't give me the oomph I'm looking for. I've got some leather ones. That might be more fun. All right. Of course, I like the leather ones. Look at that. This might be kind of interesting. Ooh, I kind of like that one. That gives me more of my dramatic effect that I think I'm looking for. All right, so let's just go with that one because I think that one's kind of cool. And I have 0 ways to connect it because I don't have a jump ring on hand. Let me grab those real quick. Alright. Never know what you'll need. So everything, I'm glad, here in my studio is quite handy. But, let's see if I've got some actual darker jump rings. That way I'm not really putting in something bright. I think I do. I could use one of these. Aha. Got a larger jump ring here, so we'll see how that works. I don't know, that might be too large. But I think that's what I... Oh, wait, no, I've got a smaller one. Okay, thank goodness. It's like, why do I only have this size? All right, so we're going to make this work. Perfect. So what I did to open up the jump ring is I just pressed it up and down instead of side to side. That way I make sure that my jump ring stays round. But look at that. I've got some drama to my design here. And now I just need to attach this chain. And lucky for us, I have got every color that we need for findings. So like I've got actual antique brass. Or not antique brass, I'm sorry. I have got antique copper flat crimps. And these match perfectly with the antique copper flat mesh. So to do this, really you just take it in. You don't need any glue or anything, but you can see those mean little teeth in there. You can simply take it, insert it into the prong there, and then you just take your chain nose pliers and give it a good squish. Just like that. Same thing on this one. And then what we can do is just attach everything together with a jump ring. And call it a design. So that looks good. Cool. There we go. Whoops. Well, my bigger jump ring certainly did come in handy. There we go. Now guys, I just made this up on the fly, but there's a million ways to design this piece, but I think you all get the gist of it. But look at that. It ended up just like my drawings, which I'm always happy with. But here we have the earrings, and we have our necklace piece. So I'm actually going to flip the camera around, and that way I can hold it up and show you guys our finished designs for tonight. There we go. Soft Flex Wire says, so pretty. I love how these turned out so much. Like, look at that. So, and these are on posts, so they're not on hooks, as you can see. Oh, people are really chiming in. Wow, fabulous, love it. Look at that. So these go straight in. Really unusual earrings, unusual texture, so I really love those guys. And using that same idea, we created a quick little necklace using, of course, the tassel. We used these beautiful tencha beads, which came from Jesse James beads that look like this. All colors, shapes, and sizes. So, and I think the flower really kind of goes with the concept with what's on the actual tencha beads, which are flowers. And, of course, we connected everything together using our flat mesh crimps with this beautiful antique copper flat mesh. So, I hope you guys love these designs. I'm actually going to take a photo of it and I will share in a post, but I think this concludes tonight's Tuesday Toots. If you love this, please subscribe to the channel, our Silver Silk and More channel, and please do share it with your friends out there in our creative community and social media. Otherwise, you could check out these products in two different locations. One is silversilkonline.com. There you will find the flat mesh and the flat mesh crimps. And then if you love the tencha beads, because I love them so much, please check out www.jessejamesbeads.com. And on there they have gobbles of all kinds of beautiful beads and strands that they created in-house, so that you know that they're original, that they're beautiful, and that they are a must in your inventory. I absolutely love them, and I cannot wait to design more pieces with them. So, with that, I leave you guys tonight. I hope you feel inspired. Want to create something? Use these techniques tonight to surprise us and post something on your social media, and please tag us. All right, every Tuesday at 5:30, I've got a new demonstration, and I hope to see you next time. You guys have a fantastic evening, and I love all